will now start with the session. She would be briefing about the academic syllabus and assessments.
Thank you. Once again, happy morning to one and all seated here. I know it's a second Saturday and most of you must be enjoying a holiday at home. So we've disturbed you for some while and made you come to the school, but we had to do this. And I will not take up too much of your time. Can we have... I just want to brief all of you about a few things. I don't know how many of you are aware about the National Education Policy, which was released in 2020. We have something which is an extension of that policy, which is called the National Curriculum Framework. And the National Curriculum Framework has come up with a document which talks about how the foundational stage children are supposed to be educated. What kind of education needs to be imparted to children right from the age of 3 to the age of 5, that is up to grade 2. Now, I've been doing a lot of training programs across the country for various schools as a teacher trainer and a teacher coach. I come from the education field with a 35 plus years of experience, and I've been a principal of 5 schools in Tamil Nadu. They were all founded by me. Of course, they're not my schools, but I founded them and set up the entire systems for those schools. And associating with Dr. Shilpa, I think, is a different ballgame altogether. It's been quite a long time since I looked at such tiny thoughts, but it takes me back to my school days and when I was a principal and I had to take care of all these little guys. So after looking at so many different theories that are being proposed by educators across the world, what I come to understand is that our country, I think, we've had the Gurukul system since many years, right? And now we see the Western world talking about different theories which I think we already had in our country. So we need to be proud of what heritage we have, and that is the reason why we've come up with, not we as in the National Curriculum Framework, talks about the Panchkosh in education. And this is something very simple to follow. I think Dr. Shilpa addressed the different domains of development in, I think it was the second or third slide. So this is very similar to that. We've got 5 koshas, all of us have them. I mean, those of you who are familiar with yoga, I'm sure you must be familiar with this also. We have the first one is your Annamaya Kosh, which is the physical development of the child. So you need food, you need nutrition to develop your child physically. So that is what is the first step. The second Kosh is the Pranamaya Kosh. Now Pranamaya is where we start talking to our children about the life force or the prana that exists in all of us, the energy basically. So developing that aspect of every child. The third layer, as it is called, is the Manomaya Kosh, where we start developing the skills in a child to understand, to remember, to understand things, and then we move to the Vijnanmaya Kosh, which is your cognitive development. So in the Manomaya Kosh, we talk about the socio-emotional development. Your Vijnanmaya Kosh is the cognitive development where the child is now exposed to more complex situations and real life experiences where they learn problem solving, they learn critical thinking and all of that. And the last one is your Anandmaya Kosh where the child learns to be in harmony with the surroundings. So that's the ultimate, right? We have, if you know of different spiritual leaders talk about moksha and talk about nirvana and all of this is what we're talking about when we talk about the 5th kosha, right? So our education system has now brought this back very rigorously being followed across the country. And we also are, I think we are on the same track at Caterpillar, where we are going to look at the overall development of the 5 domains that are prescribed by the early childhood and education and childcare, right? So this is what I wanted to share with all of you. Anything else that we need to? Yeah. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with the books that are being used in the school. They know the books, right? So we are using books by Cambridge, and all of you definitely have heard of Cambridge. Maybe some of us have even studied Cambridge books when we were students. So it's 125 plus years university, and the books have been personally reviewed by me. I am a resource person with Cambridge University Press also. So I do go and conduct trainings for various schools on behalf of Cambridge. And the books that we have are actually addressing these domains that have been prescribed by the NCL. So that is what I wanted to share with you. Coming to assessments, it's the same thing that we are talking about, the 5 developmental domains, the 5 koshas that we just spoke about. And we talk about emotional maturity, we talk about physical health and well-being, social competence, communication skills and general knowledge, and language and thinking skills. So here, more than writing, the focus is on listening and speaking, developing the speaking skills as much as possible, where the child is not afraid to express. It doesn't matter what language the child speaks in. Yes, we all know that English is the language globally, but it's not our mother tongue. Definitely not. And yes, we need to develop that language skill in our students because that's the need of the hour. But otherwise, they are free to use their own mother tongue to express whatever they want. We don't want to restrict them, because by restricting them, you are just curbing the expression power of the child. So we don't encourage them, no, you have to speak in English. That doesn't happen in most preschools. I can vouch for that, right? So the next slide, please. So as far as assessments, I know that's a big term, big word for all parents, and parents are really worried about what is my child going to score, what is my child going to get, as in marks. So marks, not at all a criteria for your child's development at this stage. It doesn't matter, because your national educational policy has brought in tremendous changes where skills are going to be given more importance rather than rote learning, right? So over here also, whenever we have assessments or we are evaluating your children, it is basically to understand where they have moved from point 1 to point 2 and point 3. So the learning curve is what is assessed through the assessments that we conduct here, right? So if you have any questions, I'm sure this is very, maybe a little new for all of you, so there may not be any questions right now. But once you go back and maybe think over what happened today, you may come back with questions for Dr. Shilpa or the teachers, but I'm sure we are all here to help you understand, if at all you need to, in a better way, and help your children to develop in the 5-fold manner. So that's it from my side. I will be visiting the school regularly, and yes, we'll be sitting with the teachers, helping them to see what best they can do for your children and update them with the latest trends in the educational field. So thank you very much, and wishing you a very